You ready for him?
Going down, y'all. It's going down. Yeah, yeah. So we doing a special one tonight. We got some special one tonight. Yes, sir. Can't tell you what we out with an undisclosed location. Pulling up on somebody special, man. He been in the industry. I'm talking over 20 years. Had his hands on some biggest artists. I'm talking about from DJ Luke Nasty to Young Dolph. You know, that's how we rocking, man. So we about to pull up on, see what he doing. We gonna smoke him out, straight like that. Y'all up? Yeah, man.
What you got going on, bro?
This my dog Waleed.
Yeah, we out here.
We're here, brother. So we're gonna put the clap up. Gonna put the case on.
Always good to see you, see you. Father, man, congratulations on the family, congratulations on the bro. Yes, sir.
We back on the Middle East.
We're back in the Middle East, yes, sir. Yeah, definitely out west from like 2015 to 2019, right before 18, something like that. It was good. The West Coast was dope. Love the West. And I'm originally from Lebanon, Beirut, Lebanon. Yeah, I was born in England. You know, they were bombing the hospitals during the time that my parents were having me, so they went to England. They had me, went back to Lebanon. Then I came to America, United States of America, and I've been here ever since. You know, getting busy. Yeah, I definitely am into. I used to smoke. I was an avid blunt smoker. Like, man, we're talking like 5 blunts a day, 6 months a day. You know, as I matured and got older, man, I kind of didn't like the aftertaste. I didn't like, you know, a lot of things I didn't like. So I'm not sitting here to try to be one of those, but then I started messing with these raw papers, you know, rolling the joint. And it's just breathing got a lot better. You know, right now the air quality is already bad because we got the fires from Canada coming through, right? So to breathe, man, you just gotta breathe correctly, you know. So even though they don't endorse me, you know what I'm saying? I don't get a check for this, but yeah, not yet. It was 100% the war. Like we really came over here on some. My parents was like, all right, when things get better, we're gonna go back. When things get better, we're gonna go back, and we just never went back. My pops went back. God bless him. He went back, but we stayed. You know, he always wanted us to be over here. He was like, this is where your opportunity is. This is where the land at. Yeah, like really, like in America, you get busy. You could go rich and you could get broke too, same time. So back then, hip hop really wasn't the prominent force that it is today. True. And just going to, you know, elementary school, middle school, Greensboro just had the vibe always. You know, God bless the dead. Mixed Master D, Dana Lucci was a mentor of mine. You know, he was DJing our school dances when the 6th, 7th grade was like clubs, you know, like yeah, so it was like, and he had a rap group called the Busy Boys, and the main rapper for that was Will Ski, who was Ski Beats, who ended up producing Jay-Z's first album. Yeah, Ski Beats. So yeah, so I used to be around these guys, right? So I'm the littlest guy around them at the time, and Dana would always say Waleed Coyote, that's how I got my name, was through him. And so being around guys like Ski Beats before he popped, the Fanatics, the Mark Sparks. Yeah, no, I know Cal for a long time. Since the beginning, we both was on the radio together at the same time, from the same part of the world. He actually lived in Greensboro for a while. What? Yeah, I pulled up to a club with him one time back in the days. This club called Inferno, and he jumped in with me. The 12 of us was behind us. It was pretty dope. Shout out to Terror Squad days, or was this? This we the best days. We the beginning of we the best. You know, shout out Nino Brown. You know, but before Bo was in the streets, but I'm so proud of him. You know, because to come where we come from, for him to take it that far is just beautiful.
Like same with you. I've seen you. I can literally say I've seen you successful and doing your thing for 20 years.
I appreciate it.
Still getting it.
I appreciate it. And you know what? I feel like it's only started. You know what I mean? That's why every day I wake up, I'm like, today's a brand new day. It's a new dawn. It's a new day. Like Nina Simone said, you know, God bless her. She said the best, you know, quote. Like every day I wake up, it's like it's time to go, man. Like every day we got 24 hours, you know. I know you a long time. I'm proud of you, man. I watched you evolve as well, bro. So it's like those 24 hours, bro. That's what's gonna set up the next week and the next week and the next week. So. You know, we always about to ever forward, never backwards. Like literally, the check next week is better than the check today. I know it sounds crazy, But you gotta set up the check for next week and the check for after that. And then as long as you know money's coming in, then you set up that forever money, you know? Did you roll up? No, I'm about to roll up with you. What else you got? Congratulations on the whip too. Oh man. You pulled up kind of mean, kind of strong, kind of foreign, to the rims, to the watch, the moon roof. The day that I met Akinelli. Right. You introduced me to him. Shout out to Alex, that's my bro, of course. The legendary Alex. Y'all pulled up at now. If you know me, you know I'm from the 804. The 804 is definitely the place to be. Right? So was this during the pandemic? This was during the pandemic? Yeah, it was during the pandemic. What's that one club? Richmond. The Club of Richmond. Correct. They out there, they got the rave, they got the tour bus, whatever they had, like the Bentley, the I-8. The I-8, oh man. He said I'm cool, I'm strong. That's legendary tour. That was a tour. We went on tour in the pandemic, which was crazy. Facts. Nobody was on outside. Everybody was scared. Like, I quarantined for, I think, 24, maybe 48 hours. Facts. Once I decided I wasn't dead, right, for going outside, I said, man, I can't do this mad shit. I can't sit there. No disrespect. You know, I can't do it, bro. Like, I'm going to wait around here to get, you know, to die. Like, I'm going to sit around. No, we going on tour. So we went on tour, which was a crazy shit because we had to literally find venues and speakeasies and underground and places that, because we were getting fined during this time. I mean, people going to jail for throwing, forget the PPP loan, people going to jail for having a party. You're in a pandemic. Nobody's supposed to be outside at night. Man, we in strip clubs in Orlando. Man, we on tour everywhere. We just made our own tour. And I put the flyer up like, come on, it's the pandemic tour. People thought we were crazy. I remember. I pulled up. I said, man, what we doing the concert? Yeah. In the pandemic. In the pandemic. We on lockdown. He called me out. Yeah, come on, we going. Hey. Yes, sir. Speaking of that. Yes, sir. Because we just kind of brushed over something. Right. What's that? I don't know how we did it. Yes, sir. Akinelli. Legendary. Yes, sir. How the hell did you wait for us? Well, Akinelli is a crazy story. I was trying to, first, I met Akinelli in, was it Beckley, West Virginia? A place called Club Horizon. It was a Friday night. They had me DJ there. When I was actually DJing and hosting a party, and I came through with Janet Jackme and Heather Hunter. I'll never forget it. And the dude rented the club, and he came on a tour bus, and the dude that rented the club out told the man who owned the club, who was actually hiring me, that he got his own security. And so that day, I'll never forget, he pulled up. My man God Supreme was with me. God Supreme's in the feds right now. Should be coming home soon, but free Primo Gonzalez. But so we there in Beckley, West Virginia. Ock pulls up, gets up on the chair, starts rapping, does the whole thing where, yo, who wants to get some head out here? Whoa. The dude sits down in the chair. The legendary from his song. From the legendary before Put It In Your Mouth, because I'll never forget it. And the dude whose party it was pulls his gun out. And the whole crowd just starts fucking running everywhere. Oh, wow. And West Virginia, bro, waving a burner everywhere, man. I'm talking about, I'll never forget it. Everybody's so scared for their life running. You know, I can still there, boom, like a G. And then years later, I'm on South Beach trying to clear a sample for Put It In Your Mouth. I went to him. Shout out to Tony Neal. Shout out to my man Quan, Zoo Crew, Tony Neal, core DJs. I got V Live. V Live was the club I had at the time. He had, and every night I was going to Miami, and I was just like really, I hate the cold weather, so I'm sitting in Miami wait. Akinelli had V Live? Yeah, Akinelli, King of Diamonds, and he had V Live on South Beach. So I go there every week, we'll sit down and try to clear the sample with the dude, and I'll be sitting there like, I'm going to stay here another day. And that led up to like months, and we just was always talking about, you know, he like, bro, I want to get back on the road, you know what I'm saying? I'm about to leave Miami, I'm about to go do this thing, I want to get to the music. And I'm like, let's do it. So one day in October, he hit me like, yo, I'm in Greensboro. So I go to the campground, and boom, the history. And then like 3 months later, the pandemic hits. And we... Wow! And we was actually shooting a video that weekend in Miami when the pandemic got shut down. God, yeah, it's always God. Yeah. Because then after that, I was like, yo, bro, I want to make this move in the A, King of Diamonds, Atlanta. Man, and Atlanta was the only open city, completely open, that did not care, because Atlanta don't care. So when I saw y'all in Richmond,
y'all had like 3 artists. Mm-hmm. Right? Was that your artist or was his artist?
No, a little both. You know, we kind of collaborated.
Okay.
Man, unfortunately, RIP my man Carson James. He passed away. He's 23 years old, a great talent. He was with us on the road. And then some of the other artists, we kind of, we all several times, but we got nothing but new. And then of course, Luke Nasty with us. That's for life. And then
Luke Nasty.
Yeah. Shout out to Luke. We just keep building, you know.
What's Luke up to? What are you up to? I know he got some new shit, bro.
Yeah, I got a new record called Get On Up with Jodeci samples. Phenomenal. Then he got another record that's sampling the Thorn song from Cisco, and
he made the beat.
Yeah, the boys are monsters. The boys are monsters. I'm gonna tell you, some one of the most talented dudes I ever met in my life. You know?
Word. Yeah. No. Honestly. Yeah.
One of the most talented dudes I ever met in my life. But I knew that though. So sometimes, like such as yourself, you was talented at a very early age. You was always into the music. You was, rapping, producing, filmmaking, So I've seen you evolve, and at the end of the day, bro, like when the universe says it's your time, bro, it's your time. That's it. It's wild, bro.
And it's definitely been your time. Yeah, you've been.
I appreciate that, man. I appreciate it.
You've been out here showing off, man.
Oh, no, I appreciate that. It's God, bro.
So, my bad. So how did you get your step into the music? Coming from that type of background, it seemed like no music was actually.
Well,
hip hop specifically. How did you get into rap?
Rap music, man, I just tell you, bro, NWA changed my life, and I'll tell you, I started the marijuana, so I was 11 years old, and I heard Straight Outta Compton for the first time, and I smoked my first joint at the same day I ever got high, and my life ain't been right since.
You look at it, that's my first album I ever bought by myself was Doggy Style.
But I'm telling you, bro, them West Coast classics. Bro, the West Coast classic.
Bro, it was 6.
Oh yeah, bro. When you're literally understanding what they did for the culture, is unbelievable.
Maybe a little older, but I'll never forget. My mama giving me some money. I think my daddy gave me some money for Christmas. You can buy whatever you want to buy.
And you went straight to the store with that.
Straight to the store.
Came back.
You get the CD. You can go right in there. They had the CD. Kind of stacked up in the record.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay, I said, let me get stupid. Man, I said, do you show your parents? I said, my mama outside in the car right here. She told me, come get
that boy got him a beer with that too, and a black and mild.
No black and mild, though. No black and mild. That tobacco is a leaf. I'm going to cut that out. So. I'm sorry. So, your first step. What was your first step?
My pops, RIP, he, I was in the 7th grade. He was listening to me talk about music one day. And he was like, man, if you knew this music, if you knew your studies, you knew this music, you get straight A's. So I was like, you know what? I'm about to go into music full time. I was in the 7th grade. I know. Shout out, I know I was going to start a record label. I knew that, I knew what I was going to do, what destined to do. But since, we wasn't rich, we immigrants, my parents was well off back home, but over here, starting out, we wasn't it, we struggled early on, and that led me to believe the only way I could really get into what I got to get into is go to be on radio, because radio was my way to meeting all these people, being the voice of the city. The time the radio station had, legendary DJs like Busta Brown, Boogie D, Kendall B. These are the guys I looked up to, right? These Busta Brown, I spoke to him today too. This my guy, that's my hero. But these guys was from bigger markets and they from out of town. So when you listen to the radio, a lot of times they will tell you yo, I'm from this city. We do it over here. We from over here. And in my head, I was like, yo, when I get there, I'm gonna rep this Carolina. I'm gonna rep the Middle East. I'm gonna rep Carolina because I'm really from here.
Yeah.
I came over here this is where I'm from, and I'm gonna empower my community. And then every single rapper that comes through here gotta pay homage to the area. We're gonna talk about the area. We're gonna talk about what we're gonna give back to the area. End of the day, what the legacy is about. This whole city, this whole state, this whole region to be put on, because I was around some of the most talented people in my life that I felt like didn't get a fair shot to make it. So I say to myself, now my job, man, I would say I won't say names because I don't want to alienate or point out somebody that made it, not make it, but growing up, I see some of the, like, you gotta think about it. You grew up with probably some amazing athletes, amazing musicians, and we had a lot, bro. We had this culture here, this music in North Carolina was unbelievable, but nobody had a shot because they didn't have the avenue, they didn't have the door, they didn't have the keys, they didn't, and we wasn't hot. As a city, we was a consumer market.
So that was one of your goals.
That was the main goal. The main focus was everything for the music. Like I'm gonna do this radio show. I'm gonna get the numbers, but everything is about the music. Everything is about the artist. Everything is about building. And so it's empowering when you tune into the radio station. Yeah, I had some wild shit going on, but it was literally always about making this area feel like, you know what, we are just as good, if not better, than any place in the country. And that's how I feel. And so when I go anywhere in the country, I got the best of friends everywhere, and I love a lot of places. Like I love when I touch down certain places, I love it. But nothing that makes me feel good until I get back home here. Ever. Right. Ever. Like that's it. Like
I like that.
Like that's it. That's when I feel right. But I could be everywhere else, but I can't. But it's like I don't be relaxed like it here, and I could be any bad neighborhood.
I can feel that. I kind of like that.
I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Because you're just home. It's home. You gonna run into somebody you know. You gonna run into somebody's kids, somebody whatever. You're like, oh, okay. Man, and it's love, and the love is like a lot of people say, yeah, you gotta watch out for back home, because here I don't get that. I knock on wood, everything has always been the love, the most here, out of everywhere. It'd be super love. Yeah, it's crazy.
I can say, I think the first time for a fact I smoked in a club was with you.
Where was we at? Which club?
It was some fancy shit for real. It was like your club though. It was right off the highway. Atlantis. It had like some shit outside, like this big fixture.
The waterfall.
Yeah, the waterfall.
Uncle Billy, Uncle Billy shit. Yeah.
Man, bro, look, I said, huh? I've been in clubs at that age, right? So the club wasn't the thing, but when y'all told me to roll, I was like,
that's mandatory. We gotta be able to smoke. Like, bro, like I was club up here, bro. They used to tell me all the time. We had Lucky Sevens, you know, one of the best spots, bro. But I used to always let everybody smoke because smoking is peaceful, man. This brings love and unity.
Absolutely.
Alcohol sometimes tends to bring out the other part of yourself, so it's like, man, I'd rather the patrons be high and then they can drink. But you know, that's always been my philosophy, you know.
I've never been a drinker.
Yeah, like,
I've never drank a beer.
Damn. No. Well, you ain't missing nothing. You ain't missing nothing. And you gonna save a lot of money, cause man, that money gets separated from you when you get drinking. You start drinking, you pop a bottle. Think about the average bottles of $50 in the store. You sell them in the club for $300. So that's $250 markup, maybe sometimes $300 markup. Then you got to pay the gratuity.
Yep.
Then if you in there with some baddies, they don't want to drink different types of drinks. So next thing you know, you don't pop 3 bottles. You just spent the easy 1,000, easy bando, right? Easy 1,000, 2,000. Don't give me Miami prices, $750 for that same bottle. And
what's the biggest like drink out now that everybody's on? I've been hearing people talk about like Casamigos.
Yeah, Casamigos is big. It's funny you say Casamigos. For fact, 100% fact. Others Records did the first Casamigo party in the history of Casamigos. This is 100% documented.
Wow.
This is. Now, when I tell you, Stem, you can go to the internet and you can actually Google the date. You could actually go to YouTube. And the funniest story ever, my man Lucas at the time was working for the dude Mike Melman, who started the company. This is a true story, right? And I don't really share a lot of these stories, but I'm gonna share them here with you.
That's hard,
because you know. I
appreciate it.
No, you know what? Sometimes I just feel like talking, and you got me in the mode on smoking. So it's a true story. So my dude sends me a case of Casamigos and a bunch of T-shirts. So we're doing the venue at the time. It was called the venue. It was downtown Greensboro. So I do a Casamigos party and put all the chicks on those, all the waitresses. Put them all in Casamigos. Boom. Survey the place.
All right.
Give them this new tequila. Nobody knows about this tequila, I swear to you. So, allhiphop.com. Shout outs to Grouchy Greg. And Steve Ray's was there at the time. And so they posted this Casamigos party. 100% true.
Oh, wow.
So I get a phone call. I get a phone call that Monday. And Lucas is like, bro, they tripping over there. Mike Melman, all them going crazy because they spent 400 bands on this whole campaign with Randy Gerber and George Clooney, the legendary George Clooney, who my mom loves, by the way. Right? Everybody loves George. He's sitting in bed with Cindy Crawford, and boom, they say something about Casamigos. They spend all this money, but then when they go do the Google searches, all they find is others records, Casamigos. They who the fuck is others records? Get this shit out of here now. Was they mad? Bro. Homeboy ended up selling a company for like $1 billion or some crazy.
Yeah. I heard that. I saw that.
But bro, I felt like my whole life I was like the Forrest Gump of hip hop in a way, because it was like so much shit has happened where I can't believe I'm sitting in this actual place, right? I'm actually in this place. I'm actually seeing this, and I can't believe it's going down. Like that Casamigos was something that I literally watched go from a drink where I'm sitting there, they're like, ooh, what's that? I'll never forget trying to offer it to people, and they wasn't on it, bro. Like everybody was. If you don't have Casamigos at your party, it's a wrap. It's wild to me, man. It's wild, but it's for a fact. Others Records did the first. Shout out to the 336 boys. Be Serious right now is overseas working with one of the biggest artists in the history of the world. Y'all can just think about that. I can't really talk about that much. Okay. He's working on the most major dudes' album right now, right? That's Bryson Gray. And then Luke Nasty, of course, you know Luke is Luke, right? Luke is legendary genius, right? So with these two guys, did the Casamigos song, the first one, with the party. And it's on YouTube. See, if I'm lying, then I cash out anybody right now and cash them out. But go to YouTube right now. Go check it out. It's the first shit ever. And since then, guess how much they done gave us since then? Not a damn thing. Oh, wow. But it's all good. I can't say nothing because, you know what? I done spent a lot of money on a lot of bottles, but I've never shared that story. Not with one person. The O was the first one. We put the O in Casamigo. You feel me? Come on, that money, bro. So yeah. Y'all keep that money, man.
Yeah, you more, but you way too much.
No, we're not tripping. Yeah. We actually would give it back to the kids if they gave us a check.
But speaking of first, I don't know if you know this, but the first time I really got on to Dolph was through you.
It's funny you said Soulja Boy too. Quick story. I was the first one to ever interview Soulja Boy on life. And Soulja Boy got booked here at the Rip Shack for $750. It's a true statement. And I interviewed him and A-Rap. Shout out to Miami Mike. All this is wow. First person to ever interview Soulja Boy ever. And him and me got the same.
Boys is Luke.
Yeah, Luke and Tyson Gray, be serious, right? And what's crazy is me and Bro got the same birthday. Me and Soulja Boy got the same birthday.
Wow.
It's actually next week. Speaking of birthdays, Dolph's birthday is one day away from my birthday.
Wow.
And R.I.P. Dolph, man. So this is the time where y'all always be like, man, that's my G.
Y'all was tight, bro.
Yeah. Dolph was one of the dopest dudes, man. This guy would pull up anywhere, any city. I would always just run into Dolph, even if it was randomly or he'd hit me or whatever. But Bo would pull up in the Wraith. He'd pull up, you know, any one of his cars by himself, usually, or one person, knock out a feature. Yeah. Matter of fact, we got a lot of Dolph footage and a lot of Dolph music that we did collabos on. That later on plan on putting it together, a nice documentary. And
that would be dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually met, I don't know if you remember this, I met y'all was in Charlotte.
CIAA.
Like the Oak or something like that?
The Oak Room, yeah.
Yeah, the Oak Room. Yeah, I remember that. Well, but I think Bundles was there.
Bundles was there, that's right.
Yeah. I don't know if you remember that.
Well, I remember
that was a minute ago.
And then I put him and Bundles together. Bundles got a feature from him. Bundles is behind the thing, but behind the wall.
Yeah,
but
free
my G,
Yeah. But I thought once I thought about that, because I remember Dolph. I remember you and Dolph was like heavy.
Yeah, heavy. We had a lot of songs, a lot of features. We made a lot of money together, and he's always a solid man.
Yeah. Every time I was ran across him, he was
last time I seen him was at KOD, man. God bless the dead, bro. He was right there. He was like, bro, wasn't even smoking. He was on probation. He's like, bro, I ain't even smoking. Not that he didn't want to, but he was just like, I'm just focused. And that was the last time I ever seen, bro. Like, and he did a whole show. He wasn't even supposed to perform. He said, bro, I'm gonna do a whole show for you. For free. He said, bro, I was like, bro, this was like a walkthrough. He's like, nah, bro, I'm gonna do a whole show. and they did every song up there, bro. It was the most amazing.
Yeah.
Most amazing dude, man. Dudes like that, it's like they live forever through the music. So, when people say, that they're gone, they are, but they still with us through the music.
That's right. That's
through
a
the
fact.
interviews.
I still listen to Dolph.
Man, I listen to Dolph every day, man. And around this time, bro,
slam my dope.
man, but he was real. He was just like that on record, like he is in real life.
That's a fact.
And that's one of the best dudes, man, in the world, bro.
Nah, that's crazy. R.I.P. to Dolph, man. That was a major loss for the.
That's major loss, man.
Major
Senseless violence, man. I don't know, man. I pray that, at the end that his memory lives forever, bro. Memory lives forever. And the universe always deals, bro. Like no matter what you do in life, karma is the most unbelievable. The scale of justice that will be served to you, regardless of whatever the case may be. A lot of us, we don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like for real, like the streets is the craziest things in the world. So you really have no idea sometimes what takes place. That's why I don't speak on a lot of things. I hear a lot of things, but certain things I don't speak on because you don't really know the absolute. If you there, then you've seen it, and then if you don't speak on it or you do speak on it, that's a legal issue now.
Right.
If you're not there and you don't see it and you hear about it, you speak about it, and then people could check you sometimes. Right? So it's a lot of
liability now.
Yeah, it's a liability. It's a lot of theories.
I just wanted to say that because I knew that you and Dolph had a great relationship. I want to say the last few times I saw Dolph was actually like in your post.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Family, man.
Yeah. So I just had to say that.
I appreciate that. R.I.P. a real one.
Yeah, no, that's a fact. That's a fact.
A real one. We're gonna keep that memory going forever. For sure.
You said y'all got some new. Who did he do? Like him and Luke?
Yeah, he got a track with Luke. Actually got 2 tracks with him, but he got some unreleased stuff that that honestly, bro, this is phenomenal. Like great brothers that have been in the street, or just might have not put the records out that we just got the features from.
Yeah.
And this is gonna be unbelievable,
Yeah. Yo, what is your title? You got so many titles.
I got a lot of whatever you want to say.
Yes, I don't know if I'm saying your artist is the right.
Yeah, no. It's just a beautiful thing, bro. Because to me, bro, I'm the type of dude I would say, bro, I go from CEO to flyer boy. Like I'll do everything.
Got you.
Because nothing is beneath me, bro. Literally, if it's something that you're a part of, bro, I'll sweep the floor. That don't make me a janitor, bro. I'll drive the car, but that don't make no driver. You know what I'm saying? And I tell my artists all the time, bro, I'm gonna get you a drink, but that don't make me no waitress.
That's
bro.
right.
Like I'll do what I gotta do to make sure that the job gets done. But at the end of the day, bro, it's like man, like artists, I've had privilege of working with some amazing artists and breaking some great records, you know what I mean? And it's just been all a real blessing, bro. Like a lot of, when I just thank God every day, because every day this all could be taken away, bro. You never know. You know what I mean? Anything can happen.
Facts. What would you say the biggest records you worked on? What you think that was?
Breaking records was on radio. We broke the Swag Surfing with FLY. We broke That's Still Around.
That's Still Around. They playing that man like
and I never forget calling DJs and telling DJs shout out to City on the Siege. That was my man. Actually, if you watch the video P Wonder, right, was supposed to be in that video, and I was supposed to be in the video too. But P had put his female friend that he was dealing with at the time in the video instead of him. Because P was in Atlanta. It was late at night. City, we did a situation. City was like, bro, could crash at one of my cribs. Right. City was like, I don't let nobody stay here, but I'm going to let him stay here. When he did that, I said, yo, send me the record. Right, we didn't think it was gonna be this gigantic hit. Like my part of the bargain was I'm gonna help you break this record because you looked out for my man. Right. And next thing you know, the record I'm calling people, but then I'm getting show money with bro. Like we started getting show money around the state for FLY, but that was one of the first major ones that really went to the moon. Shout outs to K Stylish, that was big early on, helping him. His career, K Styles was the twerk king. Shake It Like a Red Nose was something that we worked here. Ghazi didn't even make it a single yet. Ghazi wasn't even It
Shout out
wasn't.
to
It wasn't.
Gazi.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
Gazi.
gotta get
That's
the
my
Gazi.
brother, of course. But he wasn't shaking like a red nose. That wasn't even the song they was pushing. And that happened because I was at the radio station and Viva La Fresh was the intern of mine at the time. And he was like, yo, my little cousin, they doing this yiking stuff to the song called Red Nose. I said, yo, I heard a record. I called Gazi. I'm like, bro, you got a clean record? He's like, nah, we're not really running with a single. Like, bro, send me the clean. Send me the clean.
We're not really running with it.
Nah, like the single wasn't really like Gas Pedal was a single.
Yeah.
And so sometimes you don't want to confuse the market. All the time you don't want to. If you're really pushing one song and you got a song on radio, and then you come and trying to push something else, like you kind of mess it up. So boom, jumped on that, called the DJs, we broke that record. Then signed the record I Bet You Won't. That was a big record. Shout out to Famous Amos. That was
oh yeah. I bet you won't. I bet you won't.
That was signed that record.
Okay, yeah.
Luke Nasty, of course, might be one of the biggest records. Still going crazy on TikTok. Was #1 TikTok song about a year ago.
Yeah.
Blew up.
Shout out to Luke, man.
Luke again doing his thing on the way. This man, it's been a part of a lot of amazing, records and more to go.
Yeah.
And way more to go.
And you know the irony in Luke. I don't know if we ever talked about this. So when I used to work for Viacom.
Right.
So back then, what was the it was a promotional company. I can't think of the name just off. But I remember actually seeing Luke's record come through.
Wow. And you was there from the beginning. You was there from the inception.
Yeah, and I never forget it. And what's so crazy is at the time I remember I think I tried to reach out to you like on the, but I ended up reaching out to Davy Dro at the time. I remember that, and we was trying to set something up with the radio station, and I think I was coming in town to do this was really early on. I think I was coming to like Norfolk
to do a show.
Yeah, it was like a college thing like that, but it was very early on, very early. I remember that. I remember taking that to LES.
Right.
And
and shouts to LES. I know you and him been tight since day one.
Oh yeah, that's my dog. That's what I meant to.
And he's gone to unbelievable heights too right now.
Yeah, they actually I was on FaceTime with him just the other day. They was in New York, him and Havoc.
Oh nice.
Working on the new MOB,
Yeah, Mob Deep.
Prodigy. I don't know if I should have said that. I don't want to say too much.
I'm sure there's some lost verses and some hidden verses.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Prodigy, one of the greatest of all time.
I can't wait to hear that. But what's next? What you got? Others, bro.
OTHAZ, that's the label, that's the distribution. We just got a space in Greensboro that we'll be working out of. Really also, with this space, it's about just each one teach one type of philosophy to try to grow the area. My thing has been always big on education.
Still the same thing, right?
Always. It's really when you educate, you empower, and that's what I've always loved to do. I love to see people really learn this and take it to further and go bigger and go bigger and go bigger and bigger. And that's why. And so if I could help, nurture and create this thing and where we bring the music here. Because this place has always made the music. The Chillin' Circus always made the records. But now it's time to get its just due right now out of North Carolina. And so we're going to bring it here. We're going to staff up. We're right here by both universities. Both universities have grown unbelievably. And
you kind of started that saying at Middle East.
Yeah, bro.
People say that now.
That's a blessing.
Okay. I didn't know if you knew. That's a thing.
Well, I hope it's a thing. And I hope it's a big thing. And I hope that thing lasts forever because that's what it is. Because realistically, man, you can never do one thing by yourself. It's a team effort. It's a group effort. It's a city effort. It's literally like you need everybody in your life to support you. And I'm talking about every single person. And artists, a lot of times, man, they don't understand the power they have because when you're popular, you have the power to persuade the people to do whatever you want them to do.
Right.
And so there's no other greater weapon or form of music in the world that's like as powerful as hip hop. Hip hop
that's a fact.
Is the most powerful form
By far.
And that's what we love. That's what we grew up on. And to watch it evolve and to watch it keep growing is awesome. And to me, I want to just be part of giving this area the ability to crank out so many records so then these kids end up becoming business owners. They end up buying back their area, their neighborhoods, their cities, and really just like once you create that community, then you get to change narratives that's been here, that's kind of been wrong. Be here to revolutionize the whole thing because you know when you die, right? You can't take the money with you. You cannot take the memories with you. You can't take none with you. You're just gone, right? But if you leave people knowledge to get money every single day and knowledge to really change their lives and their kids' lives in a positive, then you actually have done some amazing things, and you'll be remembered forever.
That's a fact.
And that's really all I want to do. That's a legacy. That's a lot of reasons why I haven't done a lot of negative. You know, I've done. You know, nobody does all positive in life, but I've never.
I've never seen negative on your name.
I don't want to go negative.
I've never seen no smut on your name.
Because in my head I'm like, yo, if I say this, because then I can preserve this legacy.
That's right.
And this legacy could be like now tarnished now. And there's things that haven't been perfect. And yes, I have a lot of friends that's been in the underworld. And yes, that I've been hanging around certain things and elements. But as I started growing up and maturing, right, you evolve, and then you say to yourself, okay, we can actually be in runnings for and be as smart as the people that are like Elon Musk or these guys and Jeff Bezos, because you know Bill Gates and Jeff Bezos live in the same neighborhood and the same area and go eat at the same restaurants, which is wild and people never talk about that, right? So if you think about that alone, two richest dudes go eat at the same spot and hang out with the same people, and they are like, so I'm sitting there thinking to myself, if we can empower our place with what we're known for, which is entertainment, which is certain things, now we may have the next guy or lady or whatever on our hands.
I like that.
Coming from this area.
How you get in the club? Say.
How did I get in the club? With my brother's fake ID early on. You know, I took his ID. And that's how I got in the club. So I was in the club since I was like 15, bro. Never left.
Same here. Same. We actually used to throw team parties. Yeah, we used to throw team parties on Fridays, and we used to go to the club on Saturdays.
Yeah.
My uncles, they used to do them. Yeah,
you grow up quick. You grow up quick in this, you know. But I tell all the kids now, don't grow up quick. It's not like, enjoy it. Enjoy it.
Right. My son will be 18 this year, and I feel like
wow, you look 18 by the way. And I remember when you had to get home to your son. One thing I would say about you, you would be like, bro, I gotta like. I was just telling P, I said, I bet you Brian ain't even staying here. I bet you. I said, I don't know what he do, but he say he got a bounce. So for the longest I've known you, he's like, I gotta get home to my son. And you would dip, and it'd be like, we in a party, you don't drink, but we drunk at the time, we high, we having fun, and you like, shit, I'm out. I'm like, out where? Where you staying at? The hotel? We're like, nah, I'm going back home. 3:30? Yeah, bro, this ain't nothing, I'm good.
Guess what?
And I would always say a prayer for you. I was like, bro, God bless him because, you know, we don't want nothing to happen to you, but 9 years later, I told P, I said, bro, this guy got something in his blood. It's just like, I know he's not staying. You go get the job done and go.
Definitely not staying. Definitely not.
But I'm sure my brother P Dub will put you through some shit too to make you want to leave. Right? I think you just said that. But that's for the P1 interview. Don't tell him I even said that shit. Bro, P Dub had a PTSD. I said, bro, he done got that.
We got a lot of stories.
Oh my God! Somehow it always starts out incredible. And it ends up interesting and crazy. What? And then I get a call. You'll never believe what happened. Followed by, bruh, we was just in a family thing, and we just, bruh, I don't know. They got brought in the back seat now. I'm like, what? I'm on the radio. Like, my conversations with this dude has always been like, bro, the level 10 fucking nuclear war is about to happen. It's the end of the world. It's catastrophe. Like we was good, then we hit the corner, and then
something just happened.
Some crazy shit popped off. It was crazy. But then we handled it, because bro's a G. You know,
Yeah,
so
yeah, absolutely.
that's part of
Shout
your
out Wonder.
bloodline.
Shout
Yeah,
out
shout out
Cowboy.
Wonder.
Shout out Wonder. Was that your first artist?
Pete Wonder was actually could be the first artist that made waves, but I had artists before that we signed
Okay.
that I worked with that you know at the time it wasn't the timing, but it was good because it was good music. It got on radio.
Yeah.
But Pete was the one that just fucking ignited the whole spark.
Yeah.
And he was the gasoline, bro, on the fire, and that shit went crazy.
Yeah, cause y'all was deep at one point.
Yeah,
I'm talking about when I first got on the y'all. Matter of fact, when I first got on the y'all, it was a news clip.
that's right. It was the 9/11,
Mm-hmm.
the 9/11, and all the Arabic.
That's how long ago it was.
Yeah, the backlashes and the tracks that we was doing some political music, you know. So
How the hell was that?
that shit was amazing. At the time, it wasn't. It was terrible, but you know,
Looking back on it,
it's like you know, you wake up one morning and you're America's worst thing. 102 did everything at one point. The promos, Mixon always had the DJs, but always did the promos.
I
The
remember
voices.
seeing you in the room on
in that
cool
room,
edit,
yeah,
chopping it.
chopping
That's
everything.
how I learned how to use cool edit.
Yeah, being a cool edit.
I will
And back there late at night.
I promise you.
And that's really like a lot of times, man. I would sneak the beats onto the promos, just brainwash the people.
I used to catch that.
Once they hear the record over and over and over, see, people hate unfamiliar music. That's the number one thing. That's Trey Songz High School.
Yeah. Man, Trey went. Yeah, we grew up together.
And Chris Brown.
So Chris Brown. So I'm from Petersburg. Chris Brown he's from Tappahannock. So it's like Tappahannock, Richmond, Chester County Heights, and Petersburg. So he close. I think it's still 804, I believe.
Right.
Yeah, he's still 804. Country 804 is the country. If you look at this, kind of like Cali, how you got the Bay and then you got
and we legal in VA, which is crazy.
Absolutely. That's what we smoking on. You know, this is legal weed.
Legal
shit. You know, shout out to VA. VA gonna pop like that, so you know what I mean.
VA got some amazing artists such as yourself, Timberland, Pharrell, you know, Chris Brown, Trey Songz. You know, Missy Elliott.
Absolutely. Shout out to Trey. Yeah, you know, Trey actually graduated the year before me.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Before Trey actually was a singer, I remember my sister having a song and she tried to get him to sing on the song. And he was like, don't nobody want to sing. Like, nobody want to
sing. He was a rapper though, right?
He was a dancer.
A dancer.
He did used to spit a little bit, but he was really a barber, yep. Because we went to jazz. We had the little jazz barber in school back in the day.
From what I hear, yep.
Yep. And he was going to be a barber. That's a fact. Yeah, you know something.
Yeah, I remember, bro. He used to come around here before he popped. He used to come around.
Yeah, fact.
He used to have him over there, before he got a record.
He came through with the old school, him and Kukoc and all that.
Bobby Fischer later ends up working for Empire with, you know, become a big dog over there and discovering a lot of the drill music.
Empire.
Amazing experience. Took off.
I mean,
but you're talking about, you know, strategic, and you're talking about gods, you're talking about timing, you're talking about just a perfect recipe, bro, you know?
But you know what's so crazy about guys? For him to do all the stuff he do, every time you see him, he looks like the shy guy in the room.
Gazi is actually one of the smartest people I ever met in my life. He's very smart and he's got a great heart, and I can say nothing but great things about bro. Like, he definitely changed my life, and one thing about him, bro, that he revolutionized the music business, and it's sad to say that he paid people what he owed them, which is a lot of times in the music business prior to this, you never. He really enjoyed watching people recoup. He enjoyed hiring people and changing lives, and just a good brother,
good dude.
Just a great dude. Yeah, great dude. Bro.
Every time I see him, you know some CEOs and stuff, you gotta see him kind of jumping in and just the artist is my artist. You kind of, but with him it's like more so you see him.
Yeah, bro, that
step out the way. You kind of like.
He's very, very nice guy.
You don't see that.
Bro's at his parties immaculate. He'd be worried about everybody else at the party but himself. I've seen him do that. You know, I've seen him actually like run around and make sure everybody's okay
Wow.
When you know.
Shout out to guys.
Yeah. Shout out to G.
Good dude. Good dude.
For sure.
You went to Empire, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you just got all the titles.
I got,
You got so many titles.
I'm chasing the world championship title at this point. You know, me and Ric Flair, we got to square up soon. You know,
you had artists. You can have a dancer. You got cars. Like, what, you a car guy? You like what?
No, just at the end of
you got going?
No, that ain't just Habibi lifestyle, bro.
Got you.
That's it,
that's
it's just,
come on.
It's just the lifestyle,
Uncle
bro.
Billy?
Yeah, Uncle Billy. It's literally just the lifestyle, bro. You know, it's not about. It's just about the quality of life. It's about you literally just living the best life, man, that you could possibly live at that moment, man. That's it, bro.
I can dig that.
That's it, you know, because at the end of the day, man, where we come from, we celebrate every single day, whether it was in Beirut, Lebanon, to the trenches here, bro. Like, life expectancy wasn't supposed to be long, and you definitely weren't supposed to live your dream. So if I listen to everything that everybody told me I was supposed to do, I wouldn't be here, supposedly. You know what I'm saying? So I'm here, and now I want to just change so many lives, bro. Like, that's the whole thing. Now let's change lives for the better, and let's show people that you can really get it. You really can make this shit happen here in America. You know, like you could go.
Do you feel like you get like you just do?
You know what? I don't even think about it. It's so crazy because I be so like in a zone to try to make everything win that surround me. So a lot of times, bro, I'll be honest with you, bro, I haven't done interviews, or I turned down a lot of interviews. I turned down a lot of.
That's a fact.
I just don't want to just talk to people because sometimes people can't handle the truth. Sometimes if you tell them something, they might be offended or whatever. So to be honest with you, it's like you're my bro. So you pulled up. You drove all the way from the A. I said we gotta do it. Let's do it. Let's run it.
That's why I said I'm gonna do this. You know, for like 10 years, I've been getting told I should do something like this. Just from how I am. That's what.
Yeah.
You know.
You're great. You're great.
So I said, you know what? I am kind of mysterious.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You don't really see me. I don't show too much online. I don't do.
But you're a masterful guy. You know how to operate the camera. You know how to do Pro Tools. You know how to record. You know understand sound levels.
Right.
But now that you're gonna go share with the world your experiences and go state to state and give people some insight on things they never heard before or seen before, that is very dope. That's why you was like, bro, let's do it in the whip. I love the whip concept.
And I also said that the same way. I feel the same way about you. I feel like you kind of a mysterious person. You have a lot of knowledge.
Yeah.
And you feel what I'm saying? Like, so that's what I'm gonna do with this. This is gonna be that type of feel. You know how they say the type shit.
Type shit.
Type shit. You know what I mean? So like I'm doing so like I got Anna coming with Big Boogie, Big Boogie's manager.
Yeah, I know her very well. She's an awesome individual. I've known her for quite some time. We had a chance to work on a few projects last year. One of them being the Big Boogie app, which actually charted on the World App Top 100. That came in number 77. That was a very phenomenal experience. And again, man, Memphis, Royal Studios, legendary, man. Every chance I got to be there, it was like enjoying. First and foremost, Anna is an amazing executive, amazing historian. She's just, I can say nothing but great things about her brother Boo. Legendary, and that's actually y'all's family. I think that's your cousin. And so being there and looking at the history of music is like, it's like for somebody that plays baseball, you going to like Wrigley Field, or somebody who who loves rock and roll, going to Cleveland to go to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Like, you're going to a place where original bass lines was created, original sounds, where you had a whole, Willie Mitchell, God bless him, he had a whole orchestra and band in there that was still used so many derivatives in hip hop, from Jay-Z to everybody using this bass line and being ahead of the time. And so for me, when I study Memphis Stax, I study Motown, I study No Limit, I study Cash Money, I studied these guys. I wanted to be like Def Jam because I said to myself, because these guys invested their money and was able to get money from the street or whatever backing to put out the artist that nobody believed in and was able to change their whole everything and made Memphis a music town. Memphis actually has some of the most incredible artists coming out of there, and the city has a lot of money. A lot of money. So Memphis is a market that I love also as a whole because the way they talk, their sound, their movements, it's just dope.
They got different music.
Man, music.
Different music.
I love it.
Yeah.
You know, so like to go to where Dolph is from and to go where Al Green is from, and again, you talking about where Otis Redding and different people recorded their Tina Turner.
It's a story. I'm trying to get Boo too.
Boo is dope. Boo is a great dude.
But I heard a story that, you know, Otis Redding. You know how Otis Redding died? You know how he died?
How he died?
Was it in a plane crash? But from what I heard, he was leaving.
I was gonna give you a bad joke. Say you're sitting on the dock of the bay. I'm sorry, bro. That was bad. I probably can't go back to Memphis after that, but I thought it's so all right, you died in a plane. I'm about to Google how bro died. Hold on.
But what I was gonna say was he was leaving from my great grandma's house.
Oh wow.
Now I haven't confirmed this.
Oh, hold on. Damn, bro. And shortly before that, he wrote "Sitting on the Dock of the Bay."
Yep. And I don't know if it was at Royal Studios or it was at my great grandma's house.
Which is actually Memphis has the first black neighborhood. And you know, I went by there. It's a lit town, man.
Yeah.
And I always felt like Greensboro's a lot like Memphis. You know, like this city's a lot like
it has the same feel.
We gotta feel like that. So now we just gotta fill in the blanks with the artist.
With that music. With that music.
And that's it.
Damn. I can't even say it right. You know what's crazy? You know, TBT days, Yo Gotti was my he was like the first artist that I promoted.
Wow, TBT days, that's right. Yo Gotti,
Speaking of
Pitbull.
Yeah, that's exactly what I had. I promoted Yo Gotti, Pitbull, 213. That was Snoop, Warren.
I want Lil Jon on there too.
Yep, Lil Jon, the Eastside Boys.
I told you, man, I didn't get out much, man. Like I just, that's all I know is music.
But he know that music, man.
Bro, it's horrible.
Yeah, that was I'll never forget. I wanted to get 213 in them. But they tried to like lowball me for. I was young. I was actually still in high school.
That's on the West Coast, 213.
Yeah, that was Snoop.
That's the area code,
yeah, that was their group.
Warren G, man. Man, I just say to myself, shout out to Warren G.
Shout out to Warren G.
But I always felt like Warren G, and don't get mad at me because I already feel that some people on the West Coast, you know, West Side Waleed, right? But I feel like Warren G had the smash song. Why would you get robbed in your own video? Why, bro? Like you guys, they took the ring, they took the Rolex.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like I'm like, man, you shoot a video and to be like glamorous,
narrated,
you're supposed to rob. You feel me? Like the lyrics should have been
I never thought about it.
But I felt like when I ever seen that, I felt like, you know what, bro, he don't have that same message that Dr. Dre.
Yeah, I never thought about it like that.
Ran the whole Death Row before Tupac, but then with Tupac. And none of them.
So you think that's why he didn't get?
I don't think that's the sole reason, but I just feel like that part right there, seeing him real vulnerable and get robbed in the video, I said, man, this guy really was like.
You gonna look at him different,
you know? Yeah. And then they dog pulled that. You feel me? And then I looked at the brothers.
I never thought about that. Like that.
You know, like, come on, bro.
Damn, what's next?
Shit. Like, you supposed to be that part right there. That part was supposed to be a moment where
switching around.
You own it. See, if I was there, I'd have been like, Nate, dog. Feel me? This is how we gonna do. We're gonna go talk to bro right now and tell him that this is a song about regulate. So when regulators mount up, they try to rob me, but I took their ring and Rolex. You feel me? Now you're more G'd up, right? For the remix, for the G'd up remix. Now,
I wonder why they didn't do that.
I don't know, but I remember when I first heard it, right? I remember thinking to myself, damn, that's what they should do. But who the fuck was I? Like, nobody at the time. So, like, I'm a kid. Like, I'm a kid listening to this music, right?
Yeah.
So, this is the music that shaped my mind and brainwashed me early on because all I did was listen to rap music.
Right.
And then it's like, so when you see shit like that, you just take notes. Like, okay, I'm gonna always tell my artists never get robbed on your own song. Never, because then you put a wrong image out there.
Yeah.
And everybody been hit, everybody been robbed, everybody has to have something stolen from them or some crazy shit.
People go through it.
But it's how you handle it at the end of the day. How you handle the fuck shit, how you bounce back.
Like, what's the most important thing, like, for artists who want to get on there?
Show out, keep going. That's it. And then you really nothing till you hot. So stop. Stop with the complaints. Stop with the comparisons. Stop sitting there listening
I hate the comparison.
Bro, listen, if somebody's doing something for you, don't tell the person that's doing something for you what somebody else said about that. Because unless they willing to get their hands dirty, everybody becomes Russell Simmons and Jimmy Iovine overnight quick.
They want to take constructive criticism.
It's not like everybody just all of a sudden wants to tell you about your career and what you're doing once you start getting a little hot. So as an artist, you don't really compare yourself to the point where you drive yourself crazy. You compare yourself for a fun comparison, but then you understand you're walking your own lane. You're one hit away. You're one song away. You feel me? Sexy Red, Glorilla taught us that what? These girls didn't change. They stayed raw, and the world found them somehow. And now they're running the world. So be yourself. Don't compare yourself to the point where it kills you. Don't hold your team accountable if you're not paying them, right? And understand that you will have to,
because it is a business.
No, it's 100% a business. So, and you perform in front of whoever. I tell artists all the time, like, you can have 10 people in the room, but that 1 out of 10 might take you viral. And that changes your life. So you go hard every time, you shake hands, you kiss babies, and don't trick yourself. Don't put so much pressure on yourself. No, if nobody's supporting you now, nobody's expecting nothing from you. So every little accolade you get, celebrate it, but don't feel yourself too much. And just keep going. That's it. Have a forward, never backwards. That's it. Keep going. Because at the end of the day, bro, there's one thing's for sure, and two things for certain, like Jeezy said. Nobody cares, bro. That's it.
Yeah,
like, at the end of the day, nobody give a fuck about. They don't even care about music. People get in their car, they've been working hard all day. Music is a luxury. It's our life, but it's a luxury to regular people. Direct to consumer is probably gonna hit real soon, whereas you spend $10.99 for the artist, and that's probably gonna hurt Spotify a lot. But record labels, now you got to think about a guy like Drake, maybe 50 million subscribers at $10 a month. Everything Drake, 500 million. So you go back to the $10 model, but now you do it in subscriber form. And that's probably the next phase of music. That's why these catalogs are being sold for an outrageous amount, because 200-300 million could be came back so fast. Think about Michael Jackson. He sells his catalog, his estate sells his catalog for $700-800 million for 50%. But yet he may have 100 million subscribers, where he makes all that back in 1 month. Boom. You know what I mean? Like the music business is about to be serious. The one thing that we always pride ourselves is trying to stay ahead of the curve. See where it's going and try your best to fit in. Because the old way ain't working. That's a fact. The old way will never work. Not in nothing we doing. Now, you can refer and recite to some old things, but the old way is never going to work again.
Do you think it's still an underground?
Of course it's underground. Yeah. Of course. It's underground. It's a boom bap. It's some breakdancing. There's all kinds of stuff on the culture of hip-hop. And there's all kinds of underground in the sense is that A, it hasn't been discovered, or B, not enough people are onto it yet. So I'm sure there's right now.
In that sense,
but I will never sit there and criticize a new artist that's selling records. I'll never criticize an artist that's moving. I'll never criticize something that I may not understand for the first time, because once I understand it and understand that number one rule is people rule everything. So the crowd, it doesn't matter if you're a rapper And as much as I am from a street sense, as much as I grew up around the street, and I do mess with the G code of keeping it 100%, but the crowd will show you it ain't about snitching. It's not about. Right. It's about hit records. That's right. The music business. Unfortunately, right. It portrays a street lifestyle, but the crowd don't care about that. The crowd cares about what they care about.
That's a fact.
So you gotta find your place into that and what they want from you. That's it. Give it to them.
That's a fact.
And no, I don't condone telling on nobody. I don't condone no criminal shit. I don't condone nothing. I'm not condoning nothing.
We know that.
You feel me? But the O's up. That's
it. Know that. You know that. Anything we leave.
I'm very proud of you. I wish this show success. It's been an amazing time here. We're at a place right now that in the next year or two we can look back on this date and laugh and pop a bottle and get on a yacht and be around and do part two and be around some models and be around some just amazing shenanigans that we just live this Habibi lifestyle and we literally just gonna get richer and get wealthier and make sure our people eat. That's it. And I'll keep going, bro. You on a foreign, I'm proud of you. You know what I'm saying? You got the moonroof, you got all the accessories, you know what I'm saying? You got the lane adjuster so if you get a little tired. You know, bro, just be safe on this road and continue with your journeys, bro. It's love forever, bro.
You already remember, man, the biggest.